Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. It is with a very sad heart and cloudy brain right now that we are announcing the death of Christine Perfect McVie. Of course, vocalist, keyboard player for a long, long time with Fleetwood Mac, who passed away today at the age of 79. No other real information available. A very short, quick illness, apparently. And one of the classic members of Fleetwood Mac, as well as a member of Chicken Shack as well, Christine McVie, rest in peace today at the age of 79. I mean, wow, this is a big one, folks. I mean, a staple of the Fleetwood Mac band throughout, much of their historic run. Obviously not a member of the band during the early Peter Green days, but while that was going on, right, she was a member of Chicken Shack for a few years, right, and this other great, but maybe not as well-known British blues band as their keyboard player and sometimes vocalist as well. She would join Fleetwood Mac after the dissolution of the Peter Green era, right? So now we're talking early 70s. First album she appeared on was Future Games. Okay, so this, of course, and here she is. Right, like I said, Christine Perfect initially wound up marrying John McVie. This, of course, is the great album with Bob Welch, Danny Kirwan, Mick and John, and Christine, ushering in a new era of Fleetwood Mac. And she became a very strong songwriter in the band. Of course, her piano and organ skills, right? And a great vocalist. That tender, fragile kind of singing style that, would show up alongside Bob Welch or whoever else was singing. She always sang at least a few songs on every album. And it was always a nice compliment in this period to the male vocalist, right? Of course, got Bare Trees from 72. We get, Mystery to Me from 73. Penguin is also from 73. These are really solid, underrated albums. Heroes are hard to find. Okay, for my money, these are some of the Bob Welch era, some of the underappreciated albums in the history of Fleetwood Mac, and Christine was a big part of that. But of course it wasn't until, again, lineup changes happened once again, and they went from being, for the most part, a almost pure British band, Bob Welch obviously not, bringing in the young and unknown Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, that you had these two albums. And I think working alongside those two as songwriters and those two as vocalists as well, you really started to see Christine even coming more out of her shell. I mean, great songs like Over My Head. I mean, there's all sorts of, so many of her songs that she wrote, co-wrote, and sang on in this period are just quintessential Fleetwood Mac songs, and certainly quintessential Christine McVie songs. And, like I said, she had that kind of softer, more fragile voice, I think, when compared to certainly to Stevie, although she could get fragile too as well. But they were both very, very distinguishable from each other, and certainly, Lindsey was a nice counterpoint to that as well. And then you had the Tusk album, and all these other albums. I mean, Mirage, Tango in the Night, all these great records, yeah, and if you've ever seen Fleetwood Mac live, it's it's part of the whole package, right? Those three great vocalists, especially in more in the classic lineup, that the most popular lineup that we now know. I mean, you have both Stevie, Christine, Lindsey, dynamite, right? All contributing, all such a big part of the sound, of the songwriting. Her lovely little keyboard layer is not really known as a keyboard band, but all these nice little nuances in the music, and she always added a nice touch to everything. And it's been hard in recent years. I mean, we've had the fair share of backstage drama going on in the Fleetwood Mac camp, right? Well known for that. The in-band fighting and the addictions and the abuse and the backfighting and all that sort of thing. In more recent years, you've got basically Lindsay has not been part of the band, and we've had Christine, who took a hiatus from the band and came back, along with Stevie and Mick and John and a couple other guitar players, and it's just been kind of like this constant upheaval in the Fleetwood Mac family. You have to wonder now with the loss of Christine. I had no idea she was 79. Right? It's amazing how the years go flying by, but yet she was recording back with Chicken Shack in late 60s, pretty much, 68, 69. So it shouldn't be surprising that most of our heroes are approaching 80 at this point, because I'm approaching 60 myself, so it's like it shouldn't be too surprising. But yeah, it's hard to imagine a Fleetwood Mac at this point without Christine. Certainly if Lindsay's not going to be a part of it anymore. It's just like, maybe it's time to kind of call it a day. I don't know. I don't make those decisions. Some people would want them just to keep continuing on, because that's what a lot of these older bands do. But it's going to be kind of hard not to hear that voice on, all those classic songs, Don't Stop, and, a lot of really great songs that she sang that will be forever ingrained in our heads. So, yeah, tough loss. This is a tough loss. Definitely a rock icon, I think. This band is so iconic, and all the members of this band had such personality and were such, contributors to all that made Fleetwood Mac great, and Christine McVie is certainly one of them. I know, like, when she took that long hiatus from the band, and they were kind of continuing on without her, something was missing, right? Because she's been that rock for so long, right? She was that kind of like angelic presence in this band that always seemed to avoid a lot of all the other drama that was going on. You could always count on Christine to, bring in the good songs and that smile, right? And just, that's gone now. That's a shame. She will be missed. She will be missed. So, rest in peace to Christine McVie, otherwise originally known as Christine Ann Perfect, born July 12, 1943. She leaves us November 30th, 2022. Yeah, go out and listen to all these great Fleetwood Mac albums. Pull out your Chicken Shack album. She had a couple solo albums as well too, throughout the years. So yeah, this one hurts. This is a big one. So Christine, we'll miss you. We'll celebrate your life by listening to your music. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. Rest in peace, Christine McVie. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.